The 728th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code MMA SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. And we're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sportsbook available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match of up to $100. And finally, we're brought to you by RIZIN, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Howdy ho, Generinos. Welcome to episode 728 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to all my Canadians and other Commonwealthers celebrating Boxing Day today. Happy Boxing Day, and to the rest of you, happy December 26th. And happy RIZIN 49, and more importantly, decade. We're covering the second half of RIZIN today, the big fights on the main card here. So it's going down New Year's Eve. So a big time for MMA. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Tip Sport Game Changer Fox. The man on the left would be Gumby Vreeland. Hello, Gumby Vreeland.
Hey, is this out of curiosity, with this card, is this like one of the top ones in terms of how many regional fighters you knew on this one?
Yes, probably, yeah. Yeah, we don't even cover RIZIN very often. I know, probably most not most, but I know a lot, yes. For sure, yeah. A lot of former UFC fighters, a lot of former Bellator fighters, a lot of fighters who've been around a long time. So you've heard their name and I've seen them fight. So yeah, especially this half of the fight card where we've got the top five fights. Plus it's got possibly the woman who's going to bring atom weights to the UFC, right?
God, it's got to happen, right? Like, and this almost seems like, like Dana's talked about doing it in the new year. Mm-hmm. I don't know what her contract status looks like. There's no way for anybody to know that, but like, he's talking about it happening in the new year. She just so happens to be fighting on New Year's. He was just in contract negotiations with her manager on another of their fighters, Kaya Sakura. Catapulted him to a title shot immediately. It just seems like everything has aligned perfectly to bring atomweight to the UFC. And I know there are people out there hating on it. Like, unless you've watched a lot of atomweight MMA, and I heavily suggest that you go watch Seika Izawa, delete this woman she's about to fight. But like, unless you've watched it, you're missing out, because like, this is an absolutely incredible division and might wind up being the best women's division come 5 years time.
Yep. And she's got a squash match. It
is a really bad one.
It's a really bad matchup for supposedly the best person in the weight class in the world. So yeah, we should, but we wouldn't expect it. You got to have at least one or two wacky fights on a.
They had to have been looking for somebody a little bit better. Or here's another conspiracy theory. You want to go conspiracy theories?
Yeah.
Maybe her management knew that there was a lot on the line in this fight and wanted somebody a little bit easier to showcase.
Yep. Good point. Yeah, maybe this is a getting out of her contract fight, possibly.
I would love that.
Yeah. So we'll jump into all that after I remind you missed out on the college football playoff contest on our site, but we are always running contests. So always check out our app SGPN in the App Store, and of course the website sportsgamblingpodcast.com. And of course, the mother feed, Sports Gambling Podcast on YouTube or your podcast catcher of choice, so you don't miss out on any other giveaways of ours. All right, let's go to Saitama, Japan, shall we? RIZIN 49 decade, New Year's Eve. It's actually, for us people in the Eastern time zone, is 12 a.m. like this in the morning of New Year's Eve. So it's not actually New Year's Eve here because it is in Japan. So Tuesday, December 31st, 12 a.m. Eastern is the start time. We've covered the first half, we picked Gumby picked 5 fights that he was most interested in, and that actually were MMA only fights to start things off. And now we're going to get to the meat of the matter and get you with the top 5 fights. And then Gumby promises us some lightning round picks at the very end. Yeah, we got some 0-0 fighters, we got some kickboxing, we got some standing only MMA, whatever that is. So we got some other fun that we can Gumby can choose from. So we're starting things off with the fight I was just alluding to. The female in question that's possibly going to make atom weights in the UFC would be Seika Izawa. She's from Japan. She's fighting against Lucia Apdelgarim from Argentina. It's 3 5-minute rounds. 108 is technically the weight class, so it's atom weight here. I take it you've seen the odds for everything on this.
Yeah, I have.
All right. Boo. This one, I bet you you could have guessed, though. Abdelgarim Malaondo is the nickname. Bad mood. She might be in a bad mood after this fight. We'll see. She's 2-3 with one knockout. She's been knocked out once. This is her debut. She's lost 2 straight, and before that, she won 2 straight. She did fight in our favorite fight league, though, Samurai Fight House. So
she lost there too. She lost for the title.
But that's the top of the pecking order. Right after one, there's one championship, and then there's Samurai Fight House. 0-2 as a pro kickboxer. Quite the resume. 7 years younger than Izawa. That's positive. 3 inches taller. That's positive as well. Plus 450. It's positive, technically. Izawa, 14-0, 1 knockout, 7 submissions. She's 8-0 in RIZIN. She's the champ. She has successfully defended her title once. This is not a title fight, this one. She's regional champ as well. Used to fight at strawweight. 4-0-1 is pro grappler. Minus 649.
Yeah, Izawa kills her. 649 is what I saw on one of. Yeah, you can't bet on that. But I saw 649 posted in one book. I saw negative 1,300 on another one. So like, shop around if you really want to squeeze her in a parlay. But like the bottom line is she is, like I said before, I think she's the best atomweight on the planet. I think if you did a pound for pound ranking of women in the world, I think she would probably be in the top 5. Like, I think she's that good. Her top control is incredible. Her kickboxing has really come a long way since she like debuted and started to figure things out. And like, look, this is nothing but a squash match. Like I said, my conspiracy theory is it's either to get out of the contract or to show Dana what she's made of or whatever. But Abdelgarim is, I mean, she got beat by Julieta Martinez, who won on Contender Series this year, and then notoriously didn't get a contract. She like won a close split decision with Leslie Hernandez, and like she manhandled Abdelgarim. Like, she just, anywhere she wanted to take that fight, she took her there. She could put her up against the cage. She could beat her up on the feet. She could take her down if she wanted to. And so then like you take somebody who Dana White was like, I don't know, close split decision with an LFA fighter who's 4-1. And then we've got this like 14-0 mega prospect who is just going to absolutely run over Lucia. So, Izawa should win quick. I'm guessing she's going to try to put on a show so that this looks as good as possible. So yeah, Izawa by finish here is definitely the play.
By murder is what was actually promised by you. So
yes. Murder originally, yes.
Murder. Oh, there's our title. Murder originally.
Yes.
I don't know if you can turn back once the person's murder. I don't think there's anything comes after that. But murder originally is going to be the title nonetheless. All right. We're headed to a little less of a squash match up next, right? This is 135 pounds. That would be Yuki Montoya, from Japan versus Kyoma Akimoto from Japan as well. 3 5-minute rounds, 134 technically. Akimoto 7-0, 4 knockouts, 1 submission, 2-0 in RIZIN. Used to fight at 125 and 145. 17 years younger than Montoya, 3 inches taller, plus 105. Montoya 36-12 with 1 no contest, 8 knockouts, 14 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted 3 times, 11-7 with 1 no contest in RIZIN. He's won 2 straight and 8 of 10. Both of his past 2 wins via submission. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt. sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Used to fight at 125. 2010 pro MMA debut, minus 138.
Yeah, I'm going to take the favorite Montoya here, despite the age issue. I think the big difference here is I think he can get the grappling going. Akimoto is a guy who's, going in there trying to knock people out. Montoya, despite having 50 pro fights, has only been knocked out 3 times. One of them is a ground and pound loss. One of them was a knee to the liver from Kai Asakura. So like if you're in there headhunting on Yuki Montoya, I got some bad news for you, because that dude can take a punch. And, not for anything, that Kai Asakura fight, Montoya actually held his own early in that fight, particularly with the grappling. He wound up in some really good grappling positions. He made Asakura work, which, like, if you were trying to drop the perfect game plan from there, try to wear down Asakura with some grappling and make it so that he can't, get his striking going late. And, he got it going for a little while before he ate that knee and crumbled. But, I think that grappling is enough here against Akimoto. I think he'll score some takedowns. He'll wear him down. He wasn't able to wear Asakura down, but like, as we've seen now, Asakura is probably, at least a top 10 flyweight in the world, and was in the wrong weight class. And now we're going to see Akimoto, who's young, kind of unproven, hasn't fought any real big name guys, getting kind of a veteran lesson from Montoya about what happens when you're wrestling with really high level dudes. And so like, I like that. I also think, too, Akimoto is a guy who comes from a kickboxing background. If you've watched him try to defend a takedown, he jumps gilly a lot. Like it's like he learned a couple of things in jiu-jitsu class and is like, "Ooh, I can do that." And against a 50-fight veteran, which Montoya has, or over 50 fights at this point, a 50-fight veteran, like you don't want to jump a gilly on that guy. He's just going to be on top of you for the rest of the round. So, yeah, for me here, Yuki Montoya is the play. I like him to kind of grind this one out.
You want to fracture his penis is what you want to do, right?
You're all in on
it's
that.
It's never going to die. Never going to die. So Montoya was your pick. I was just thinking of jokes. Montoya.
Should we get a t-shirt for the SGPN store?
Yes, we should. I don't know. Are people going to wear a fractured penis shirt, Gumby?
You're the one who's really into it, so I don't know.
I am really.
I think you're the market.
It's something that Gumby found disgusting. So, which goes to show. All right, we're moving on. Zulu boy time. Couple of names you may be familiar with, at least one of them for sure. RIZIN Flyweight Championship, Kyoji Horiguchi from Japan, the champ, versus Nkazimulo Zulu. Just call him Zulu. It's easier. He is from Nigeria. Is that right?
Doesn't sound right.
No, he's from South of Africa. Excuse me. My apologies. 5-5 rounds, 125. This is flyweight, right? Yes. All right. Zulu boy is the nickname. 16-6-1, 7 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 1-0 RIZIN. He's won 3 straight. He's gone 3-2-1 over his last 6. 3 straight wins via finish, though. He has not lost since December 2022. He's got multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Get sticky with it. What else can I tell you about him? 0-1 in the Ultimate Fighter. Who did you lose to, Gumby?
Hiromasa Ogikobu.
Ogikobu. You're right. What else? I used to fight at bantamweight, as most flyweights have. 2013 pro MMA debut, 4 inches reach over Horiguchi, plus 300. Kyoji Horiguchi, the man the UFC should not have let leave their clutches, is 33-5 with 1 no contest, 15 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted once, 13-1 in RIZIN. He's the champion, 2 title defenses successfully on his resume. He's won 2 straight and gone 4-0 with 1 no contest over his last 5. He's not lost since April 2022. 7-1 in the UFC, 2-2 with 1 no contest in Bellator, and the former champ there. Regional champ as well. Used to fight at 135. 2010 pro MMA debut. 0-1 in pro kickboxing. A year younger than Zulu. Minus 450.
Minus 450 is not enough, right? I don't know what they're handicapping here that makes Horiguchi only negative 450. I had it mentally at negative 1,000. Because Horiguchi, here's the thing, he's still probably one of the 5 best flyweights in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Every single time we see him, his boxing still looks just as good as it did before. He's still kind of sneaky good in terms of grappling. We talked about his fight with Shinryu on last episode, and Shinryu got some of his wrestling going early, and then Horiguchi took over and won that fight by rear naked choke. Which just shows he can not only grapple with guys who have no interest in grappling, but he can grapple good grapplers and beat them at their own game. And the thing about Zulu has always been, he's kind of fun on the feet and he's like a lanky guy for flyweight, but his wrestling just isn't up to snuff. He got beat by Ogikobu in the Ultimate Fighter house, largely just by not being able to wrestle. He lost his EFC title to Jake Cadley, largely just by not being able to wrestle. And some of his losses since then have been similarly just because he can't control the position. And that tells me Horiguchi, first of all, I would pick him to win just a stand-up match here, right? If you told me Kyoji Horiguchi was going to shoot 0 takedowns in this fight and just, force Zulu to strike with him, I'd still pick Horiguchi. And then there's the added bonus in there that if for some reason he didn't like that style of fight, he could just take it down and win it there. And I think almost no time. I think he could score a takedown and hit a rear naked choke. I mean, give him 2 minutes of time on top grappling and he would get there. And so for me, I don't know how they landed on the number 450 because it seems like he should be a massive favorite here. And don't get me wrong, 450 is massive, but it seems like he could be an even bigger favorite here because he has the advantage everywhere. So as always, give me Kyoji Horiguchi.
All right. As always, against everyone in the world, Gumby?
I mean, almost, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's not a. I mean, like, wouldn't him and Manil K be a sick fight? Like,
sure would.
I don't know who I'd pick. I'm gonna be honest. That's how good Horiguchi still is at this stage of his career.
Yep. UFC messed that one up. They don't care though. Let's tell you about Underdog Pick'em, shall we? I haven't done that yet, have I? I don't think so. Nope. No. Underdog Pick'em is one of the biggest menus for all sports. You can win up to 1,000 times your entry with Underdog Streaks. Underdog is always making it easier to win with profit boosts and gimme pick'ems. NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and more. And you know, use specials on boost on all flex entries. Company's going to give you a play for this fine Boxing Day.
Yeah, so Boxing Day, that's Thursday. We can get in on some basketball there. Let's go. If we're going to go to the hard court, might as well go to the Bulls and the Hawks. You know, I like my Bulls. I'm going to take the higher then on Nikola Vucevic's rebounds. I know Clint Capella's in there, but it's going to definitely draw that rebound line down a little bit. So I'm going to take the higher than on his rebounds.
Not only do you love the Bulls, you love your Vucevic rebounding prop plays.
I do. I mean, like, come on. The guy's a double-double machine.
Yeah, always going with him on the higher and lowers on Underdog. Usually higher, actually. Always higher. Sign up with our code MMASGPN. Claim your special pick and first-time deposit. Offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code MMASGPN. And we're brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. There are plenty of betting opportunities available on Rebet. It's easy to use and great for people in states where traditional sports books may be restricted. Download Rebet in the App Store and use the promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. All right.
Do you know where you don't take Nikola Vucevic?
Where?
You don't take him on any first bucket props. Do you know how many tips he's won this year? How many jump balls?
Yeah, not many, I take it, right?
Two. out of like 28, he's won 2 tips.
Nice. Yeah, he's not much of he's a good rebounder, but not much of a leaper. He's more.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he jumps.
Yeah. When you're big, you don't have to jump sometimes to get these things. All right. What are we going to now? Nothing but bangers, right? The rest of the way. The co-main event is what we're up to next. A RFF lightweight championship bout. Roberto de Souza, the current champ from Brazil, versus Vugar Karamov, the challenger, not from Brazil. He is from Azerbaijan. 5-minute rounds. 157 technically. So lightweight. Tell you about the challenger first. Karamov Vuji is the nickname. He's 20-5. 7 knockouts, 9 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He's 6-2 in RIZIN and the former champion. He's 5-1 over his last 6. He won his last fight via TKO. Used to fight at featherweight, 2012 pro MMA debut. 3 years younger than De Souza, minus 104. The champion, De Souza, Satoshi. Roberto Satoshi is 17-3, 6 knockouts, 10 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. He's 10-1 in RIZIN. He is the champ. He has defended the title 3 times already. 2-0 over his last 2. 8-2 over his last 10. Both of his past 2 wins have come via TKO. He went 0-2 in Bellator. He's a regional champion. 2013 was his pro MMA debut. He's a multi-time BJJ world champion. He's 8-3-4 as a pro grappler. 2 inches height, 3 inches reach over Karamov, minus 125.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Satoshi. Originally, I did a little research on Karamov and I liked what I saw, but the bottom line is just like, when we're talking about Satoshi, like a guy who's got 9 of his wins, that's over. What'd you say his record was overall?
Satoshi,
Karamov.
20-5, 7 knockouts, 9 submissions.
So half of his wins almost are by submission. You're not going in there and submitting Roberto Satoshi. No. And then, if you watch his takedowns, like I'm not completely sold on the way he hits a single leg. Like he catches the leg just fine, but the way he finishes it, I'm like, it kind of seems like it's over muscled. And then like his top game, he doesn't have good pressure on top. It seems like he is set up to be triangled pretty easily. And Satoshi works so well off of his back. Also, like Karamov's last loss was like he just didn't keep his weight down enough and got up kicked and literally knocked out. He got knocked out with an up kick, fell into the guy's guard, and the guy hit him like Rock'em Sock'em Robots like 35 times while he just like unconsciously sat in his guard. It was pretty wild. It's a lot of fun to watch. Go back and watch that if you can. Bet. But the thing is that like Satoshi is already so good in his jiu-jitsu game. So like we've got a guy who's sort of relied on his jiu-jitsu and like maybe doesn't have the best top pressure. and like you're going to put him in there with a jiu-jitsu specialist. Now, he does have 5 knockouts, but if you watch a lot of them, it's against a lower level of competition. It's against guys who allow him to sort of wind up and land his shots that you can kind of see coming. And, you know, I know Satoshi is a jiu-jitsu specialist, and he's a jiu-jitsu specialist in every sense of the word, but like, if you've watched him recently, he's really committed to like making sure he rounded out his game. It might have been those 2 losses in Bellator or PFL or RIZIN / whatever the hell the promotion was. But like, it might have been those 2 losses that made him say like, okay, well, what happens when I don't hit a takedown next time? I have to have a backup plan. He's won his last 2 fights by TKO. One of them with like standing shots. Like he backed the guy up, landed a whole bunch of shots, like sort of poured it on after he hurt him. Like he's clearly dedicated himself to the kickboxing side of things. And when you pair that with the fact that I don't think Karamov has like an out in the grappling, like I think if he isn't liking what he's seeing on the feet and getting frustrated and he shoots a takedown to try to rest, he's going to get caught there too. So I still believe in Satoshi here. I think the submission game is going to be too much for Karamov. Give me Satoshi on this wildly deflated number.
Oh, wildly deflated until the gens get on it. And we need a We Move Lines shirt, Gumby. That's probably would sell better than the fractured penis shirt.
Sure.
Just thinking. I'm not a t-shirt expert, but I'm just guessing.
All right.
We'll
let the guys in the store know.
Yes. Okay. We're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie has been running on SGPN for years. Check out their new and improved website. It's great on mobile, plus props for every game and the live dealer casino. They even have new early cash out options available. Check out all the MMA lines there and head to mybookie.ag. And when you're there, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And SGPN's proud partner RIZIN is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money line spreads, totals, and props. Build your own model, copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, or have RIZIN build you a model. You now track all your props in the RIZIN app. NFL picks, NFL props, college football, college basketball, NBA. RIZIN has it all. Definitely track your Al Horford props in their app as well, because I'm sure you have a bunch. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RIZIN. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. You were in the arena that Al Horford built the other night, Gumby. Did you feel his? Do you feel his aura when you were in there?
You know, one of the last Celtics games I went to, he hit an elbow jumper at the buzzer to win it.
Yes, that's how the legend of Al Horford grew in your mind. All right, do you have a legendary main event, Gumby, to break down here?
I don't know if I'd call it legendary, but it's good.
No, it's good. It's for the RFF, RIZIN Fighting Federation. Yeah, featherweight championship. That's a lot of Fs. Chihiro Suzuki, the champion from Japan, up against a fellow Japanese fighter, Kleber Koike. Is it Koike Erbst?
I always just go Kleber Erbst. Yeah, I don't.
Kleber Erbst. He's from Japan as well. Not three. Yeah, it is. Oh, sorry, I was saying 5 5-minute rounds. I think their fights are only 3 5-minute rounds for title fights, if that matters to any you people, at least according to Tapology. They have steered us wrong in the past, but. All right, let's tell you about the challenge.
Doesn't matter in those first 2 title fights in case anybody's going to chirp at me. Like,
okay, cool.
Horiguchi takes over early. Satoshi is going to get the hands going and should hit a sub whenever he wants it.
Chirping, a hockey term, Gumby. Hockey players always talk about chirping each other.
Any sport is a chirping sport.
Yeah.
Baseball's got a lot of chirping.
Yeah, I guess if you want to call it chirping. Erbst is 33-7-1 with 1 no contest, 2 knockouts, 29 submissions. He's been submitted once, 8-1 with 1 no contest in RIZIN. He used to be the champion. He's gone 2-2 over his last 4, 2-2 1 no contest over his last 5. Actually, he's 2-0, I believe, over his last 2 is actually what I'm trying to say. I think he's won 2 straight fights, and they both have come via finish. The intern's going to tell you right now after the intern's website loads up here. Yes, he's won 2 straight fights, both via submission, and he's gone 2-2 with 1 no contest over his last 5. 0-1 in Bellator, 5-2 in KSW, and the champion twice in that promotion. A regional champion as well as that. So his mantle is overflowing. Used to fight at 135, 155, and 170. 2008 pro MMA debut. 1-1 as in the shoot to box. Has missed weight twice at 145 before. 2 inches height and inch of reach over Suzuki. Minus 172. So the challenger is the favorite. Suzuki, 13-3 with 1 no contest, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. 8-1 with 1 no contest in RIZIN. He's a champion. He's defended his title once, 3-0 over his last 3, all via TKO. 8-0 with 1 no contest over his last 9. He's not lost since September 2021. He fought Erbst before, and it ended in a no contest.
Not really.
It really was a sub loss for Suzuki.
Yes.
That was back in June of 2023. What ended up happening there again?
Erbst missed weight, so he wasn't eligible
yes.
to win the title. And rather than just stripping him of the title, RIZIN does this weird thing where they own the athletic commissions, and as a result, can overturn it to a no contest.
Yep, there you go. That was back in June of 2023. Regional champion for Suzuki. Used to fight at 125, 7-1 in pro kickboxing, and a champion there. 4-0 in Muay Thai, 1-0 in shoot box. 10 years younger than Erbst, plus 130. So kind of lets you know why the odds are the way they are, because these men have fought before.
I'm going to go with Suzuki, though. I think he changes the narrative here. And sort of the reason why he's clearly dedicated himself to fixing some of his takedown issues. If you watch that last fight, he fought Kenhara, who was in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken, Masanara Kenhara.
Yeah, I think so.
And he shucked a couple of the early takedowns, which, gives me a lot of confidence in what he's doing. I've always loved the way that he's ripped the body, particularly with the left hand. And I think he made a mistake in that fight, being anywhere near Erbst on the ground. And I think he knows that, right? He knows how dangerous Erbst is on the ground. And, we talked about it in the last fight with Satoshi. Satoshi really seems to be figuring himself out on the feet. I do not feel the same way about Erbst. He continues to be a guy who I feel is pretty damn one-dimensional. And so if Suzuki, sort of slipped up in that one dimension last time, he sort of gets to come into this one knowing that it's that one dimension and nothing else that he has to be afraid of. And I think he plays it a little safer. He's a little bit smarter with it. Maybe this is a fight. Maybe this is the lone fight where it being 3 rounds is actually probably a problem, because I think Suzuki's going to be a little bit safer. And maybe that costs him a round early or something like that. But at the end of the day, his kickboxing is so much better. His power is so much better. If you look at the knockouts this guy's putting on people, they are, he knocked out Patricio, right? And so for him to have done all that, I think all he needs to do is stuff a takedown or 2 early. He should knock out Erbst, and he should retain here.
All right, there you go. So once again, mybookie.ag, check out the knockout props for Suzuki, right?
Yeah, if they when they get up there, make sure you get in on them. That's
what do you think it'll be?
MMA SGPN or
no, just SGPN.
SGPN. Yeah.
What number do you think?
If he's betting off at plus 130, the unfortunate thing is his KO prop is going to be his win prop probably.
Yeah,
so plus 175, plus 200 maybe.
Still, it's better juice, better money for you. All right, let's recap, and then we'll get you lightning round picks. Suzuki, Souza, aka Satoshi. You've got Horiguchi. I forgot to mark you down. Now you're locked in. Sorry, Montoya and Izawa. Lightning round, Zap Bam Boom Pow, Gumby. What do you have?
So the first one I'm going to take is Ed Polo King. He is a 6'8" kickboxer, and I know he's betting off at -225, but he's fighting a 1-3 dude, and it seems like they just want this dude to knock somebody's head off to get the crowd fired up. So Ed Polo King, really nice parlay piece. The other one I'm not seeing a line on right now, and that's for Yuya Fukuda. He also has really big knockout power, and on some of these early cards, it does seem like RIZIN tries to set people up with big knockout opportunities. So, they like to get the crowd fired up. They like to get people excited. So give me Ed Polo King, give me Ruya Fukuda, and let's squeeze them into some parlays.
All right, let's do it. All right, you are all set now for New Year's Eve / New Year's Eve morning, I guess, action in RIZIN. Thank you for coming to the show on this Boxing Day. We'll be in the Discord as per usual. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We'll be on Twitter. Gumby runs our account at SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there and on Instagram. You can, of course, check out our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe at MMA Gambling Podcast. Check out my Substack and subscribe at moneymma.substack.com. Check out Gumby's Top Turtle Podcast. Subscribe there so it shows up in your feed. He's got Kieta on the most recent episode. Maybe a UFC fighter as well. That's TBD. So he always has good guests on there. So check out Top Turtle. And of course, we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, and sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We'll be back. When will we be back? Today's Thursday. We'll be back on Sunday. More regional action next week.
Futures.
Oh, futures, right.
We got to finish. We got to finish our last 5 divisions of futures.
Yeah.
And hey, shout out to you guys in the YouTube comments saying that you wanted us to finish up the divisions. We got you. They're coming.
Yeah, of course. We're not going to start it and not finish it. So yes, definitely they are coming. So next week apparently is when they're going to be coming. All right. In the meantime, have a good couple of days off of us. We'll be back, as it says, Sunday. It'll be Malaondo, Jeff Fox, and Satoshi Vreeland. We'll talk to you then.